Verse and Haza, the Blood Theater, a testament to the despotic rule of the Vire. These same Vire now stand between me and my next goal. Darkmire's gates will open to those able to overcome its defender. And within these gates lie my next aim. One thing stands between me and this goal. The sins of the Father. Vanstrom Claus must die. What's up everyone, it's Fidelis Nemi. This episode will have a slight curveball in the action. We're going to push for 70 prayer. I'm a long way off, but I have a lot of experience already banked, about half of what I need. Obviously 70 prayer is useful for Piety, but in addition it unlocks 3 different hard diaries that we can complete. Mauritania, Kandaran, and Falador. So we'll likely push the requirements to get these done as well. There are a couple of smithing requirements that we'll need. To get the prayer experience, we're going to be doing some Soleil-Sept cutting for fossils. The fossils can be cleaned and turned into the Varrock Museum for prayer experience up to a cap. Well, experience lamps, but we're going to be using the lamps for prayer. Once you reach the cap with the Varrock Museum, you can calcify them in the mycelium pool and turn them in at the house on the hill to get a bonus prayer experience there. You can do that an indefinite amount of times, and technically that gives more prayer experience than the lamps would give you, so it's better to just turn them in there if you just want prayer experience, but I don't want to have to do too much calcifying, plus I don't mind wasting the experience lamps on prayer as opposed to something like Herblore. I'm just going to do it as quickly as possible this way. Also, don't pay attention to the black bar covering my experience in the top, by the way. I had to travel for a bit, and the first few clips of this video are actually going to be photos because I was traveling and couldn't record. I don't want to spoil what I've done and how much progress I've made, so I have hidden that in the top right. Also, it's things like this that makes me really enjoy the Iron Man game mode a lot. I love the hardcore aspect as well because it keeps me invested in everything I do, but just being an Iron Man forces me to really learn a lot of tricks and features in the game that I never would have done otherwise. I never would have done the Soleil-Sept cutting for fossils on my main, like, for any reason. I would just buy Dragon Bones and get prayer experience that way, at altars. However, this method is actually pretty reasonable experience. It's pretty fast prayer experience, it's great woodcutting experience, gives me Soleil-Sept so I can boost my crafting level, with Soleil-Sept mushroom pies, and it's mostly AFK. It's super easy to do. Let's get started. I'm going to just do a couple of barrows before we switch over and start our grind. Nothing. 62 thieving. We got 59 room crafting in an effort to push for the Lumbridge Hard Diary. The last task requirement we need for the Lumbridge Hard Diary is to unlock Bones to Peaches. That took us a lot of training at the Mage Training Arena, which got us 85 magic. And here we've unlocked Bones to Peaches finally. First Lumbridge Hard Diary task completed. We took a Waka Canoe from Lumbridge to Edgeville for the next diary task. Recharged our prayer with Smite. Completed. Craft, string, and enchant an Amulet of Power. Completed. Light a mining helmet in the Lumbridge basement. Completed. 78 woodcutting. 79 woodcutting. And we've completed our last hard diary achievement for Lumbridge and Draenor. We now have our first hard diary completed. Lumbridge and Draenor. This will give us unlimited teleports to the Falador farm, 10% bonus experience for Tears of Guthix, and a shortcut to the desert from the Lumbridge swamp. That's not as good, but the bonus experience from the Tears of Guthix and the Draenor unlimited teleports is pretty good. And we also have 60 prayer. We've completed both the easy and the medium tasks of the Varrock Diary. This will allow us to smelt a little bit faster. 66 smithing, 67 smithing, 80 woodcutting. We broke 40 million total experience, missed that milestone, but another 10 million milestone. 81 woodcutting, 82 woodcutting. We got ourselves a wilderness clue step. super important for anyone doing this. Once you've farmed up a bunch of fossils and you've filled up your fossil unit storage on Fossil Island, don't pull them out. I spent a lot of time pulling out all of the fossils, just kind of like this, taking them all to the bank on Fossil Island, and so I'd be able to bring them from the bank here in Varrock to the museum. Turns out the storage is the exact same from Fossil Island to here. You just show up here, and you withdraw as you go, and dump them in the cases. You don't have to pull them out ahead of time. You don't have to transfer them to the bank. Super fast and easy and convenient. Just don't waste time like I did. 61 prayer, 62 prayer, 63 prayer, 64 prayer. So, I did some volcanic mines. Way more than I bargained for. I did not realize how much of a challenge volcanic mines were going to be. I was using like 20 monkfish per trip, or about 16 to 18 monkfish per trip, and pushing it to the wire on a couple of them, depending on the RNG. Do not recommend doing volcanic mine unless you absolutely need to as an Ironman, and I would highly recommend minimum 75 health, minimum monkfish, and ideally better food than the monkfish, and ideally Ceradome and brews if possible. But you could monkfish is acceptable, so you could get away with sharks, potatoes. There's a number of things you could use, but yeah, that was rough. I did get enough pyrophosphite and calcite to finish the fossils I have, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to go ahead and calcify them and not bother with doing more of these. I did want to record one volcanic mine for y'all, but I decided I'd rather not go back in and do another trip, even though my next trip was going to be the one I recorded. I only did 4, and yeah, that's just not going to happen. So, fun times though. It was an experience, way more involved than I thought it was going to be, because I had never done volcanic mine before. First load of calcifying fossils. To do this, just need to keep bobbing the fossils back underwater, and make sure you have enough calcium and phosphate for the reaction. You only need about 6 of each in order to have enough for the full process. 65 prayer, 66 prayer, 67 prayer, 68 prayer, 69 prayer. Alright, that's 70 prayer. That gives us Piety. In addition to having Piety, we can now do our 3 diaries. That is huge for the account. That's a hard Falador diary task done. We have a few more to go for the hard Falador diary now that we have 70 prayer. And the next Falador hard task, cracking a wall safe. The next Falador achievement, we now have the family crest of Ceradome. We've worn full prospectors in the mining guild. We're recharging our prayer with full proselyte. Completed. We've completed a lap of the Falador agility course for the next hard diary task. That's our first skeleton wyvern down. Hopefully we can get a lot more of these through Slayer tasks in the future. Okay, without the mole locator shield, this is Cancer. So you have to kill 1 mole before you can get the mole locator shield on the Falador 3 shield, which is because this is a requirement. So for all you people who don't have Falador 3 achievement diary, only do this once. Kill mole once before you get the shield. Don't farm this boss until you have that. This is Cancer. Finally, we have our first mole kill and our final requirement for the hard Falador diary. We can get out of here and get our reward. Okay, we are completing our hard Falador diary. This is a huge achievement. So this diary is one of the most useful in terms of its rewards. A lot of diaries have a lot of rewards, not too particularly useful. Every single reward from the Falador hard diary is incredibly useful. So first off, our Falador shield. We can regenerate 100% of our prayer once a day. That's the equivalent of 3 doses of a prayer potion for free once a day. That's huge. In addition, the shield also acts as a locator. So if I want to farm the mole for its drops, maybe for bird nests, for Ceradome and brews, maybe I want to farm it for the pet in the future, wherever I want to farm it for, the shield will now automatically guide me to the mole wherever he is. We just got a lamp, as you can see. That's 15,000 experience to Herblore. That's big. The biggest upgrade though is the bank and the crafting guild. To mine gold, previously what I was doing is I was going to Between a Rock quest area where you go get shot by the cannon into the rocks, you mine gold, and you run out, you talk to a dwarf, he delivers it to your bank for you at a cost of like 3 to 4 gold per load. So not only do you have to pay a tax, you're also running a little bit, but at the time, it's the closest gold to a bank. The crafting guild, however, has a bank in it literally right next to the gold ore. However, you can't use it until you complete the Falador Hard Diary, which we now have access to. So we can mine gold incredibly quickly, assuming we don't want to do Motherlode Mine. Other than that, the giant mole will also be dropping its skins and its claws in noted form, which is huge because it's dropping 2 to 4 per kill. Having that as noted saves you a lot of trips, so if you're farming it, you can farm a lot of kills at a time. And finally, to save a ton of time as well, the shortcut in the Heroes Guild that allows you to skip the whole basement dungeon traveling is unlocked as well. So now we can skirtle past where the blue dragon is towards the fountain to recharge our Amulet of Glory. Since we only have 1 Amulet of Glory at the moment, which is admittedly a bit of laziness on my part because I have like 6 dragon stones I can make into glories at this point, we have to go back to the fountain pretty often and recharge. And this will allow us to skip right to the fountain very quickly. That'll wrap us up for this video. We didn't get quite as far in the diaries as I wanted to get, but we do have the 70 prayer, so we are going to push forward in the next video with claiming those 70 prayer required hard diary tasks. Until next time, guys, see you later.